Welcome to Third Eye Champagne. I am Kirsten, Langston, author and intuitive. You are looking at me. You're looking at me. And what I'm about to do is an update, or I would like to call it a Trump date. It is Monday, as I'm recording this, Monday, April 8th. And we have had some interesting developments in Bizarro land, or I mean, that's what I'm calling the White House these days. I'm going to take a peek at that. I'm going to take a peek at, are we going to have fair and free elections in 2020? Because a lot of people, it's on their minds. And I think it's a valid question. And I'm going to take a look at Cohen because he has some new stuff. He has some new stuff out. So I'm going to tell you guys, we just had Sunday brunch yesterday, which is a live stream for patrons. $2 gets you that. It gets you that plus everything else for the month or for however long you want to stay, but it gets you into the archives. It gets you a bunch of other readings. It gets you quick and dirty readings, which is essentially what this is about to be, on up to the minute things as they're happening. It gets you a bunch of stuff. So, FYI, but at the Sunday brunch, we looked at, oh my gosh, we looked at so many things, but a little birdie kind of got in my ear the minute I started the live stream, and I really don't want to read on Trump anymore. It's just annoying, and I think there's no point to it. I think people are getting off on it in a way, even if it's like a hate watch, you know, whether you hate me or you hate him, I feel like it's just not healthy. So I really haven't been reading on this guy much, but I did yesterday. A little birdie got my ear, so you got to read on this guy. You got to read on Trump, and sure enough, I put the cards out, and there's the King of Wands, who is that's what he comes up as for me. So we read on that. We read on the dementia stuff. We read on Pete Buttigieg, which I'm calling Buttigieg, which is not his name, but that's unfortunately, I am so disrespectful. I just ignore what he wants me to say, and I say what I feel like. So I'm a jerk that way. I just like saying Buttigieg. That's what's really going on. I just like the way it rolls off my tongue. So we looked at that. We took a look at Eric Swalwell. We looked at, I was on there for like a good hour and a half. I mean, it was a really, really, really good stream. So if you're interested in that, the link is around. So let's take a peek. The first thing I want to look at, oh, I know what else we looked at. We looked at Mueller. We looked at unredacted Mueller report. We looked at William Barr. We looked at SDNY. I did not get a chance to look at Cohen yesterday, so I'm going to slap that in this one because I guess there's some new info coming out. Like he says, oh, wait, I found a thumb drive. Who knew? So we're going to take a peek at that. But there are some interesting things going on in Trump land today. We have Kirsten Nielsen, whatever the fuck her name is. We have her. She's gone. She's out. She was fired. And now we're cleaning out the Secret Service. Oh, you know what I didn't look at? Well, I briefly looked at this Chinese spy at Mar-a-Lago situation. And the only thing I really picked up is that Mar-a-Lago is like fully not secured. But do you really need to be psychic to know that? I don't think so. Somebody did ask me today on Patreon, somebody said there's going to be a big earthquake in LA, some psychic. I don't know who, they just said a psychic said. And can I look at it? Well, I'm going to tell you this. I think it's really easy for any psychic to say there's going to be earthquake in earthquake territory. And I think it's really easy for any psychic to say there's going to be a hurricane in hurricane territory. I mean, it's just one of those things that if you say it enough, eventually it'll come true. So I don't read, I really don't read on stuff like that unless I'm feeling it like really weirdly strongly, and I'll just be like, you know, typically it's something that imminently happens. I don't, you know, and it's very rare that happens. But I think I said once or twice, I know I said the Hawaii volcano. I know I was like, volcano, Hawaii. Like, I know there was something about that coming out. There was something about, I know I said an earthquake in New Zealand. It happened like a couple days later. Maybe it was a volcano. I don't remember. But the point is, I think it's a real easy prediction to make. There's no shade on anybody. I mean, it may be an actual prediction, but even for, you know, people that aren't legit psychics, like that's an easy one to make. Eventually it will come true. Eventually there will be an earthquake in LA. Eventually there will be an earthquake in California, you know? So I'm not going to read on it because I'll tell you what the cards are going to say. They're going to say yes, because eventually there will be an earthquake there. So there's that. That's kind of how I feel about that. The only way to really to read on something like that would be to pretty much read on the prediction itself, which as a psychic, I think you kind of get into to shade thrown territory. You kind of get into some scary territory, because then you're calling somebody out and it just gets messy. So I'm not going to touch it. Sorry, I'm not going to touch it. I will be looking at Trump land because we've got some weird shit going on. So let's take a peek and see what he's up to. I think part of this is deflection. I think that's like, again, that's not a psychic thing. I mean, that's just, come on, man. Everybody wants this Mueller report, and he's like, I know, I'm gonna fire people. So let's just take a peek and see. Let's just take a peek and see what's happening. The inmates at the lunatic asylum, aka the White House, are getting antsy. So I did say on this live stream yesterday that I had done, and it was a Q&A. I don't believe this was a public reading. I believe this was a patron reading. But I had said about the Boeing jets, I said, no, there's faulty equipment here. There's faulty equipment here. It's not the software, it's faulty equipment. Well, come to find out, they were putting, if I remember this correctly, they were putting knowingly, and I said this, I said they did this knowingly, they did this to save money, this is something that's going to come back on them really badly. Well, it turns out it did. An article just came out, and I want to say it was Vox, that basically said they were putting engines that I believe were too large for the current plane, new engines in the plane that, like, they should have rebuilt the entire plane, and they didn't, and they knew it, so they thought they'll correct it with software. So I got a hit on that. And somebody, some blessed, sweet, sweet soul patron said, I don't understand why you don't have more subs and you don't have more views on YouTube, because you're so accurate. And thank you for saying that, and God bless you for saying that, and I appreciate it. And somebody else said, well, I think it's because Kirsten doesn't just tell people what they want to hear. And that's the thing. I don't, and I won't. So you will always get the straight truth from me as much as I know it. I just don't blow smoke up people's asses. I just don't do it. I don't. So I just wanted to say that if you're here, I'm never going to blow smoke up your ass. I'm never just going to sit there and tell you things to make you feel good. Sorry, if you're here for the feel good stuff, I mean, that comes in with the jokes and the humor and some other stuff, but it's never going to come in with actual information. With the information, I'm just going to give it to you. And ooh, hello, Trump. Interesting. So I have an interesting reading here. I just got distracted by my cards. But I did want to say that in case you're wondering, in case you're new here, in case you don't know me very well, I just don't sugarcoat it, and I don't sit there and tell people it's going to be okay. And I'm not going to sit here and tell people that, Trump will be gone soon, so you can just sit on your ass. I've never said that. I will never say that. If you live in America, even if you don't, contact people, contact your reps, contact whoever you want to contact, American businesses that are doing business with this guy if you don't live in America. But I always say, like, be active and participate in your process. There are Nazis in the White House. That's a legit thing. That's a thing that's happening. So I'm never going to not say it. FYI. All right, speaking of which, speaking of the White House, interesting cards here. So I kind of just said, what's he doing? What's going on here? Well, he is trying to change the narrative that's here in the cards. This is him changing the narrative right there. New beginning. Hey, everybody, look over here, right? Look over here. So here's the information that the Mueller report isn't exactly a shining beacon of everything, everything's wonderful and Trump is a fabulous man. That's here. That's in the past. There's the information coming out. Here's the shift in narrative. Right there. And then what do we have? We have Trump trying to get away from justice. So he's trying to basically say, oh yeah, no, I'm going to get away with this. So he's just trying to get away with it. I think this guy thinks, and he's right, and if it's not him, because I think his brain is just spongy right now. I mean, forever. But not just temporarily right now, but right now and going forward. But who's ever handling him thinks we change the narrative, they're going to forget about this, we'll move on to something else, and then, nobody will give a shit about this Mueller report. Well, it's not going to happen. Mueller is here. Nancy Pelosi is here. So there are people here that are going to come out and say things. So we're not alone in this. This is not something that just disappears and goes away. Although he is trying to change the narrative. I want to see what's going on with this, all these firings. So I think it is change the narrative, but what else is it? Let's take a peek. Like, what is there any other motivation? Is it just random? I will tell you, I know you saw the preview of it on here on YouTube, the energy forecast for April. I actually like this month. I like it way more than I liked March. And way more than I liked February. I really like the energy of this month. I think it's going to be really nice, actually. I think it's going to be a chill, a chill one. But I think it's going to be a much, I don't know, as far as, you know, Nazi McLooney Tunes goes here. I don't know about that, but I think for us regular Joes and Josephines, it's going to be a very nice month. Much smoother energy than as it has been. So is there any other motivation here? Tell me that. Tell me that. Is there any other motivation here with these firings? I don't know if y'all saw, but we finally hit 10,000 subs on YouTube. Yay! And thank you and welcome. Oh, there's Mueller. Hello, Mueller. Hello, Mueller. Where did I come up with these ridiculous voices? So yeah, Mueller is going to testify. I think that's here. Mueller is going to give out some information. Basically, eventually, at some point, this man spills tea. Whether it's him or his report or both, he does come out to spill the tea. So there's that. So again, Mueller is showing up here. I say, what's the motivation? And it's like, you know, look over here. So that's part of what's going on. Let's see if there's anything else going on. Let's see here. I mean, I think you are, yeah, there's Kirsten, whatever the hell her name is. Oh yeah, he's trying to subvert justice. I mean, this whole situation is a look over here thing. So this is in the home environment. It's look away from anything I'm doing wrong and look over here. So don't focus here, focus here. So that may be the entire motivation. Part of it is he's just not anchored. He's just not moored. So he's just doing things to do things. That's here, and it looks like this is interesting. So let me. These two cards don't go together, but I got excited. But it looks like he's trying to move forward. So he's trying to move his agenda forward here. That's here, and he wants to do it fast. He wants to do it swiftly. This could be the anti-immigrant thing. This could be full-on Nazism. This could be consolidation of power, consolidation of authoritarian power. But whatever it is, he's trying to move forward very, very swiftly. Very, very swiftly. And he's trying to put an end to something that he perceives, whether it's true or not. That's here in these 2 9s. He's trying to put an end to something that he, even though these are 2 really good cards, it doesn't feel that way to me. It feels like he's trying to put an end to something that he doesn't want around. So it could be, again, it could be the Mueller thing. It could be the policies. It could be a number of things, but he's trying to mitigate it. He's trying to end it. He's trying to move forward. He's trying to move into a new phase. And I do believe it is a consolidation of power. So once again, yes, contact everybody. Don't just sit on your ass. Contact everyone and say, excuse me, these things are being done in my name. I'm not interested. You need to do something about this man. I fully encourage active participation in your political process. Protest. Donate money. Do what you gotta do. Lord knows I am. I'm doing it, y'all. Is there anything we need to know right now? Is there anything we need to know right now about Donald Trump and or the White House administration at all? I did a lot of this on the Q&D yesterday. It's definitely worth a look. And like I said, it's $2, so, you know, doesn't break the bank. But I did go into quite a bit of this. No, this is a strongman thing. He's really trying to become Mr. Strongman. If it's not him, because again, I don't know how competent he is right now, and I think he gets less and less competent as the days wear on. If it's not him, then it's who's ever behind him. And when I say who's ever behind him, I don't mean Putin. I don't mean that. I mean more like Miller or Ivanka or Jared or whoever else is pulling the strings in that particular place. Yeah, it's just more autocracy, kleptocracy 101 stuff is what's going on here. That's what's happening here for sure. God, this guy is not well. Not well at all. So here's Cohen. I wonder if there's a bombshell on Cohen. So funny story, but Cohen always comes up as the Queen of Pentacles. So for years, if you've watched me for a while, you know I kept seeing in 2017 and 2018 this mysterious Queen of Pentacles. Oh my God, she cracks the whole thing wide open. She breaks the bank. She's this, she's that. She's the key to One-Eyed Willie. And then on indictment day, when Cohen was indicted, I start reading on Cohen and bam, there's Queen of Pentacles. Bam, there's Queen of Pentacles. And it hits me. I go, oh my God, Cohen's Queen of Pentacles. So he's here. Cohen is here. Mueller is here. Something's coming out of that. Big time. Big time. Or they're trying to repress it already, but it comes out. I don't know when, but it comes out. Is there anything else we need to know? Yeah, so this man is shoring up defenses. That's why he's doing what he's doing. And it's not just like, oh, let me defend the country. There's more than that here. You know, ooh, this is gnarly shit. Gnarly, gnarly, gnarly. So again, I've got these two guys here. So this is what he wants. For what he's doing, it's just like, I want to do it. I mean, that's part of it is I want her fired. I want him fired. I want to do this. I want to do this. But it's more than that. He's trying to position himself. Now, you know, this is a card called Sittin' Pretty. This can be a card called the Wish card. It can also be very smug. But either way, these two people, they're exactly where they want to be. So I think that's part of it here is he's trying to position himself exactly where he wants to be. He's in a defensive position right now. This is below his reading, the PTSD card, the card of defense. You can see I've got my stick, I got my fence, nobody's getting past me. So that's what's going on here. Is part of this is he's trying to get himself in a defensive position. It's not going to work. However, I think that the wheels of justice are turning very, very slowly, and unfortunately the wheels of injustice are turning much, much faster. That's a problem. When you've got xenophobic racists running the country, it's a problem. So again, don't sit on your ass, do what you gotta do, get involved. I'm writing my representatives like every morning. Like every morning. I have this little thing, it's called Resist Bot, and you sign up for it, you can Google it, and they send you text messages and they prompt you and they tell you where protests are, and it's fabulous. I love that. I love Resist Bot, so highly recommend. What comes next? Again, don't look at me. Don't look over here. Look, oop, damn it, crotch card. Don't look at me. Don't look over here. Look over there. Don't assess me. Don't look and see what I'm doing. He's trying to deflect, 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 deflect. It descends even deeper into chaos. So his administration, his brain, his life, the things that he does on the outside. So yes, babies in cages. Yes, people fucking living under underpasses and shit. That worse. So he is trying to bring more chaos. The fact that Mueller and Cohen keep showing up for me is really, really interesting. Let's just take a peek at this Mueller report, and then I'll take a peek at Cohen. I just kind of want to see, like, how does this affect Trump in the long run? Let's look at that. Actually, let me put you back in, Mueller, because I'm not reading on you personally. How does this affect Trump? So just so you know, as you're watching, it does help immensely when you leave a thumbs up. It helps immensely if you leave a comment, even if it's just a little emoji. It really helps me raise visibility for my channel. So anything you can do to help me with that, that would be amazing. I would just love you to the tips of your toes if you would do that for me. It'd be great. And you know, that's how we finally got to 10,000, and I just started like, come on everybody. So here's hoping we can breeze past 10,000 and get a little bit more. I will say that or a lot more. I'll be greedy, shit. Let's double it. Let's double it. Let's get to 20. But somebody emailed me, this is interesting. Somebody emailed me and said, I wanted you to know something. When I watch other psychics videos, you never come up as a suggested video. So I asked a bunch of people yesterday during that live stream, I'm gonna ask you right now, if you haven't already answered me, when you watch other psychic videos, do you ever see me come up as a suggested video? I am just very, very curious, because I would say from yesterday, I would say there were quite a few people that were like, yeah, I see your videos. It's usually one of the old ones. It's never one of the new ones, but your videos are suggested. But I would say more people said, no, I never see you suggested ever. So I'm curious, YouTube, if you see me when you're watching other psychics videos and you have the suggested videos, do you ever see your auntie up in there? Yes or no, yay or nay? Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Informal poll. How is this Mueller report? You know what? I'm going to amend that. I'm going to amend that question. How does the information Mueller and his team gathered, that way we're covering testifying, affect Donald Trump? Damn it. I've read on this before and it's always like, move slower than you'd like. It's like, great, man. Just what we need. Judgment, the tower. Well, this is interesting. Cards being deliberately vague. So I'll give you this. I said, how does it affect Donald Trump? First of all, we have, in the past, we have this, you know, bar trying to basically, you know, redact everything. And I'm going to put out my own summary. Oh, well, no, I'll put it out, but I'm going to redact everything, you know. So you're going to get a report that says like to, of, the, from, you know. So that's here. Illusion, delusion. That's like, you know, you can't see anything. And then what do we have over here? How does it affect him? So it's weird because the sun is on top of him, which is very, very interesting because I'm wondering, does it affect him? Not at all. But then we have the tower and judgment beneath. So it's some kind of a disaster. It's some kind of time's up kind of a thing. We have collusion in the home environment. That's here. So the lovers is here saying, yeah, all right, there's collusion. Like there is evidence of some kind of collusion. Yes, for sure. But it's not enough to have somebody be tried in a court of law. Okay, it worries him. The information in it worries him. So this is how it affects him. It worries him. What comes next? Ace of Cups, something new. So something new comes next. And then what do we have? Wheel of Fortune. So fate plays out. That's why I say the cards are being deliberately vague, because this is the end card here, Wheel of Fortune. There's something is ending. Yes, sure, okay, of course. But it more to me says fate will now play itself out, whatever it may be, which again, deliberately vague. Okay, let's take a peek at Cohen because I'm feeling pretty hot and heavy. I will say this: when I watched that man testify, I knew he was untrustworthy. Immediately, I was like, oh, you can never trust this guy. And I knew he was scum. I mean, he's scum. He would have kept doing what he was doing if he hadn't gotten caught. Let's be real. That's a very loud gulping on tea. I'm thirsty. I like to hydrate. But at the same time, I liked his face. I thought he had a very pleasant face. I like to watch him talk. And I felt sympathetic towards him, even though I knew he was untrustworthy. He was likely continuing to withhold things, and not just at the direction of Mueller or any kind of prosecutor, but things that he was like, they're never going to catch me on this, so I ain't going to mention it. Show me the new info that Cohen found. Show me that. Does anything come of that? Let's just look at that. I'm starting to theorize because you know how the world can be tricky, and psychic stuff can be tricky, and the cards can be tricky. And I'm, you know, after this latest bout of you know, seeing Trump's dementia just get worse and worse. Ooh, Cohen, interesting. I had always said, okay, yeah, Trump doesn't finish his term. And now I'm speculating, and this is pure speculation, and it's not psychic speculation, it is mental speculation. So it's my thinking brain. But I'm like, I wonder if that's because he's just not mentally there. So he's still there, you know, it's the Nancy and Ronnie Reagan situation. He's still there. Jared and Ivanka are pulling the strings, but he's gone mentally. I don't know. I'm just theorizing. I'm just thinking about it. That's all. I'm not saying it one way or the other. I just thought about it. Wonder what you guys think about that. Cohen. Cohen's got some tea. Woo! Okay. Yeah, he has information. He has secret information. He has very interesting information. So here's your secrets. here's your very interesting. It could be possibly damning. Here's your information right here. He got information about sneaky ass shit. Does anybody use it? I think is what I want to ask these cards. I mean, somebody must use it. It's definitely damning. But again, I'm not sure what that means or where that goes. Tell me. Tell me about Cohen's new information. What can you tell me? I just keep cutting to Trump. So look at this. I asked, what can you tell me? I cut to Trump and then I cut to the burden. So it's definitely damning. Does anyone use this against Trump? Is this used in a court of law? Show me that. Show me that. Is this used in a court of law? Is this used in a court of law? Show me that. Huh. Burden again. Okay. Oh man, I mean, so again, partnered with bad people, up to no good. Okay, fine. What else do we have here? Cards are tricky. I think the cards are saying, okay, you're done reading on this. Wheel of Fortune again, so the fate plays out somehow. Great. Great. Information again, Trump and victory. So I don't think it fucks with him enough because Trump's here writing to victory. So it may be damning. I don't think it's damning in a court of law. It may be damning in other ways, but not in a court of law. So it may never reach court. It may never reach a court of law. It may never reach court. As far as does Trump get prosecuted on it or something like that, the answer is no, not him personally. It could be family members. It could be the business itself, but it's not him personally. He sails away. He just got the victory card. So let's see, will America have fair and free elections in 2020? I mean, we don't really now, but let's just see if it gets any different than what we usually have. Let's look for that. Let's take a peek here. My apologies if you end up getting an uncut video and I don't cut out the shuffling. I may not. I'm tired. I'm tired, damn it. I don't know if I mentioned this only on Patreon, but my grandmother passed away a few weeks ago and it's just been rather exhausting since then. It's just been a bit exhausting, although I will say this. I was over there yesterday and I found a book. And I picked it up and it like was buzzing in my hands. The damn thing was vibrating in my hands. I was like, what is this? I look, it's a book of the New Testament. I open the book and it's got a name written inside, Sister Consuela. And I go, oh my God, this is some nun's prayer book. And I'm going to do a whole thing on it. I'm going to do a reading on it. I'm going to do a video on it and just see what comes out of it, because I've never felt anything like this. I've never picked up an object, very rarely. I mean, I can't even think of anything else where this has happened to me. Very, very rarely. I've never picked up an object and went like, oh my God. Like, I mean, it felt like hot, like the book felt warm. Really bizarre. Very interesting. So I'm going to be doing a video on that. But I'm a little bit tired. You know, death and grief take a lot out of you. Fair and free elections. Okay. A very, very simple answer. Very clear answer. And the answer is this. You will have to fight for it. You will have to fight to make sure. So America, listen. We will have to fight to make sure we have fair and free elections in 2020. It's no joke. It's no joke. We're going to have to work at it. It doesn't just come. It doesn't just come. Yeah. I mean, that's it. That's the bottom line. I mean, I did a whole Celtic here, but here's your bottom line is these two came up just like this. You're going to have to fight for it. It's not just going to come the way you think it's going to come. You're going to have to, I mean, we just kind of saw this where people are stealing elections left and right. So it's a thing. It's a thing. We're going to have to fight for fair and free elections in 2020. All right, my darlings. If I said I was going to look at more, I'm not. I'm tired. I'm tired. Nobody wants me to read, but I'm tired. You're going to get a bunk-ass reading, so we don't want to do that. So I will see you next week. And again, if you want to come cruise by Patreon, come and see me. We'll do that. And that'll do it for me. That will do it for me. I do love you. I do adore you. Be well. A great big thank you to Our Gems, our main sponsor. You rule, Our Gems!